Two orderlies shovel snow off the sidewalk outside a large building in Lovecraft, Massachusetts. They shoot some unsavory comments back and forth about the newly elected Barack Obama, saying he's a African, speaking about his church, and, of course, they don't forget to mention his natural skill at basketball. They can all play basketball, one tells the other. Why I don't watch that shit anymore. It's discriminatory for normal white people. A woman in a black jacket, rolling a woman in a green jacket around in a wheelchair, raises her eyebrow. I can't hardly get a wheelchair through. Were you all going to finish this walk? Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Beautiful day to shovel for minimum wage, isn't it, Ms. Blackston? Brixton, she corrects him. Mr. Parsons, if you have trouble reading my name tag, you should poke your head in the continuing education office. They offer discounts for staff on private mentoring. Mr. Parsons and the other orderly laugh and get back to work on the other side of the sidewalk. That's when they see the kids from Lovecraft Academy. Congrats on another win, Tyler tells Zach. A smirk spreads across his face. Too bad fencing is such a weenie sport. It's even more dinky than lacrosse, and roughly as cool as being in the World of Warcraft club. I think it's cool, Kinsey says from behind the two of them. Her approval actually supports my argument. Jordan adds on with a joke at Zach's expense. I don't get it, he asks. I'm undefeated this season, and Tyler's hockey team hasn't won a single game. How does that make me the punching bag? As the children pass the two women, Zach makes eye contact with the woman in green. The woman in green cranks her neck violently as she turns around in her wheelchair to get a better glimpse of him. Dodge! She cries out. Rendell! Dodge! Rendell! You need to dodge! The woman in black, indifferent to the sudden outburst, rolls the woman into the building's property. Mrs. Voss, Erin, please, you're going to upset them. Kinsey gasps. She runs to the now closed gate and calls out to the woman in green. Mrs. Voss? Erin Voss. My name is Kinsey Locke. My father was Rendell. You two knew each other, didn't you? You were friends. You went down to the caves together. Do you remember Key House? Do you remember? Zach scowls as Erin responds to Kinsey's call. No! She screams. Wait! Kinsey pauses for a moment, wondering why Erin is so afraid of her. Don't take it personal, darling, reasons Parsons. She's got a mental deformity, unnaturally prejudiced against white people. Goes with the territory. Everyone's got something in this joint. What joint? Zach asks. Parsons points to the words on the sign on the wall outside the property. McClelland Psychiatric Hospital. Tyler snatches at Jordan's hand and drags her down the sidewalk past the second orderly. Kinsey asks him to wait, but he refuses. For once, shit is almost normal for him, and he actually kind of likes it. Before stomping into the distance, he tells his sister he thinks he's already had enough crazy for one lifetime. If Kinsey really cares enough, she could play Nancy Drew without him. Later, Kinsey brings the newly found information about Erin Voss to her friends Scott and Jamal. Bodie sits just outside the room, quietly listening, like a fly on the wall. I need to get in there. I need to talk to her, Kinsey sighs. Why? Jamal asks. I mean, yes, she knew your father. That seems evident, but she didn't just know him. They were friends. Best friends. You can't know that. Did your dad ever say anything about Erin Voss to you? Didn't need to. She was on the wall, down in the drowning cave. By that time we got out the cave, I had mostly forgotten about what was on the wall. Got a little distracted by trying not to drown. But when her nurse said her name, it all came back to me. Still skeptical, Jamal wonders, even if Erin was close to Kinsey's father in high school, what could she possibly tell her that she needs to know about? Kinsey's father never spoke about Lovecraft much. She thought it was because his mother died while he was in high school, and the thought about it upset him. But now, she knows there's something else. Scott looks up from Kinsey's laptop. Even if she does know something, and you could get in there, doesn't sound like she'd want to share it with you, Whitey. That's the worst part. She couldn't handle the sight of us. She looked at us and saw a lynch mob. In her mind, we were criminals. We were dangerous. Just 'cause the color of our skin. How screwed up is that? Jamal can't help but cringe at the two children attempting to work out the not-so-complexities of deserved fear versus outright racism. There are so many ironic statements I could enter into the conversation at this point. I can't choose between them. He groans. Still, it's funny to think Erin Voss used to be friends with my dad, who was so white he'd sing along to Peter Cetera. And now the sight of white people is enough to kick off a screaming fit. I have to get in there. Either of you have any idea where I can get a grappling hook or some rope? Jamal waves the suggestion away. You can skip all that, Jamal answers. It's not exactly a high security installation. My uncle used to work there. No shit, Scott asks. Like what? Janitor or something? Both Kinsey and Jamal beam at Scott, signaling for him to do better. You're so simple. You just like to stick your dick in things and gently stir. My uncle was a payroll accountant, shithead. Back when it was a good gig. But it's a lousy neighborhood. The whole area is old and white and Irish and broke and angry. People driving around with bumper stickers that say, somewhere in Africa, a village is missing its idiot. Second time someone scratched nigger on the hood of my uncle's Olds, he said, good enough, and called it quits. People suck, Kinsey adds. When he still worked there though, he used to have me over Saturday nights to volunteer. Kids come by to read books to the older folks. If you've got a copy of Beloved on your hands, you can waltz right in. All right, Saturday then, she smiles back. But, Kinsey, love, even if you do get in, so what? You already know she isn't going to talk to you. Look in the mirror, Scott adds. You're still white. Elsewhere, at a bar across town, the two orderlies are having a dispute over which horror villain would beat who. The fuck you talking about? Parsons asks. Leatherface will kick the shit out of Freddy Krueger. It's unrealistic to even imagine it'd be a fight. The chainsaw guy has 150 pounds on Robert England easy. Now, I'm a big motherfucker. I don't care if a guy does have knives for fingers. Not good enough. You put me in a ring with some whippy thin bitch like Freddy, I don't care if he's got a fistful of knives. Let him poke me a couple of times. I'll take his little stickers away and knife fuck him in the ass. Have you ever seen any of these movies? Like Freddy, he's made out of bad dreams. He come out of nowhere and yank you into his nightmare world when you least expect it. What are you talking about? Yank me into the nightmare world. I already mopped floors there. My whole shitty life is one big, long, underpaid bad dream. Pulling weekend shifts at McClellan, surrounded by pants-shitting lunatics and taking orders from a big, smart-mouthed nig. At that moment, a woman with long black hair walks up behind the two. McClelland? You work there, don't you? The two stare at the woman, at her long black hair, at her revealing dress, and their jaws drop. I bet you deal with some real sick fuckers in there, she giggles, grabbing Parsons' beer for herself. Ha! What's the sickest thing you've ever seen in McClellan? There's an old dude who sometimes starts pulling on his wank whenever that sports girl comes on TV, he answers truthfully. The one who had naked pictures on the internet. He'll pull his wank right out in front of God and everyone. The woman takes a drink. So, do you guys want to help a girl settle a wager? I've got a bet with my best friend. I bet her our old babysitter is in McClellan and she doesn't believe it. She remembers this nice young woman, real smart, real friendly. And when I told her Erin Voss turned into a completely crazy person who wants to murder white people, she told me I was a liar. She takes another drink. I think she even got kind of mad. She said she'd bet me anything that Erin Voss... How much did you wind up betting? Parsons asks, smugly. Why? 'Cause you're going to collect. Erin Voss is in room 2C, back of the East Wing. Been there for going on 20 years. The woman finishes the drink. Thanks for the beer. That was good. Thanks for the info too. But we gotta prove it to her. How are we going to prove it, boys? Wait, I know. I've got a cell phone. I just got it this week to keep in touch with my girlfriend, best friend. You know what I mean. Can't you take a picture of Erin Voss and send it to me if I give you my number? Phone to phone? Like magic? Like magic? Parsons snorts. That's been around since 1997. Do I get a picture in return? Picture of what? How about a picture of your tits? I better get something good. I mean, I could get shit canned taking snaps of patience. I'll do you better than send you a pic. You send me a photo I want, we'll get together and I'll let you feel the goodies. Feel? Oh, fuck you! You're pulling my chain. Who put you up to this? I'm not pulling your chain now. But you do this for me, and we will get up close and personal. I promise.